Hey everybody, Captain Kai, the Seaglass guy, here with LC in the country of Dominica. We're on a pretty awesome seaglass hunt right now. Already found some really good stuff. You can see there's pretty good sized walls that these waves have been built up overnight that are just loaded with all kinds of really good seaglass. Super well worn dominoes. I've already found like 3, I think, which is maybe a record for this amount of time in finding marbles. But look how high all this seaglass is stacked on the rocks. Makes it really easy to go through it. You can just kind of kick down layers a little bit at a time, and stuff just comes right up to the surface. I've been finding the dominoes more towards the bigger rocks. There's LC sleeping on the backpack. And I'm finding more seaglass towards the littler rocks. It's definitely worth kicking down these piles one at a time and seeing what kind of cool stuff rolls out. Kind of never know. I thought I saw another domino there. Maybe not. Anyways, Dominica's been pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of Hawaii. It's kind of a Caribbean Hawaii. It's very tropical. You can grow just about anything here. And a pretty small place too, so you can get around quite easily. I've found probably half a dozen seaglass species here, some better than others with rarer stuff. Some with like marbles, and some with dominoes, some with some rarer colors. And all have some kind of interesting finds here and there. Found a really cool piece of no way! Look at that. Do you guys know what that is? Wow, that's from a pool ball, from a 9 ball. This would be the insert with the number. It must have dislodged from the ball itself. That is awesome. I've never found one of those. And we just kicked that out of the pile. Cool. That's the first find. That's a keeper for sure. Right on. Let's keep kicking these piles. Like I was saying, there's some really interesting things to find in here. Of course, we're picking up some trash along the way as we go. And just LC and I riding solo these days. Don't really know anybody in the country at the moment. But we're not really able to make any friends at the moment either. I got a pretty bad cold at the moment. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. So I've been quarantining myself away from other folks. Unfortunately, oh, look right there. Just rolled out of their feet. Awesome. Good sized marble there. Really pretty color. See, my water maker cut out on me, so I haven't been able to make any fresh water on my boat lately, which is kind of a bummer because I'm fresh out of water, and because I'm sick I don't want to go anywhere and get anything from anybody or give them anything. So hoping to feel better the next couple days. I got enough water for drinking, just not for showering and doing dishes. It's a pirate's life for me. I think is that an old coin of some sort? A lot of these coins aren't made of really good metals anymore, so they disintegrate in the sea. Pretty cool. So LC and I might head later today to Martinique. It's like a 40-mile sail, and then I'm hoping to feel better in the next couple days. And we can fill up on fuel, fill up on water, go get some food, and enjoy Martinique once we get there. Dominica has been super cool, really pretty. Like I was saying, the tropics are just insane, and loads of wildlife here as well. You guys probably saw that dolphin video I posted the other day. That was pretty wild. It was just a wild dolphin hanging out in front of my sailboat for a while, slapping his tail near the boat, making eye contact with me, asking to play. So I was like, alright, well, came knocking. Might as well jump in there with him. Or I'm sorry, with her. It was a female dolphin. And we hung out for hours and hours of swimming until I was like just beat. Couldn't swim anymore. And it was so much fun. Such a cool dolphin. It was definitely the friendliest one. I've swam with lots of dolphins, obviously, sailing around the world, but that was definitely one of the friendliest. Probably the friendliest one I've ever met. And yeah, totally wild. So that was neat experience. Ooh, big yellow right there. Finding all kinds of great stuff in this pile. Might have to stay here a couple days. I don't know. If I wasn't out of water, I would stay a lot longer. There's no marinas here or places to fill up. Stuff like that. Dominica is a little bit of a more less fortunate country. Folks here do not have much. There isn't much for infrastructure. If you're looking for a fancy, luxurious vacation, you're not going to find it here. But it is still very pretty. There's lots to do. If you're an adventurous, outdoors kind of person, and you don't mind not being fancy, then this is a pretty sweet spot to check out. I know a lot of people come here just for day trips on the cruise ship, so might have to make a treasure map to help you guys find some seaglass here. There's obviously some really good stuff. Another coin right there. Sweet. Ooh, look at there, half a marble. Beautiful. Beautiful half a marble. And of course Elsie's hanging out right there, keeping an eye on the dinghy. Usually we bring the dinghy up on the beach, but you see it's way too big of waves today. And the dinghy weighs over 400 pounds. I would have never got it up here, especially with the slant like this. It's all uphill. So yeah, we found some really good stuff. I found that piece of turtle shell, put a little oil on it, and that looks awesome. Just gonna keep that as a display piece, I think, in my boat. Too big to fit inside the treasure chest. These piles just keep going and going and going. It's probably not a bad idea to look behind you every once in a while. New stuff could wash up. Little piece of sea metal there. Sea metal usually comes from when they would burn trash. The tin and aluminum cans would melt down into puddles. Those puddles would fall in the ocean and smooth out. That's why you get those weird shaped pieces of metal that you find oftentimes along bonfires you got. The weather's been beautiful here. It's definitely a rainforest. It rains quite a bit here, but never too much. And it's so beautiful. Everything's so green. You hear lots of wild birds. They do lots of tours here up and down the rivers and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat. Definitely worth checking out if you're crossing countries off your list. There's a big old bobble there. Ooh, another coin. Crazy how many coins there are. Alright. Sometimes I do find older coins, but most of the coins I find have been in the ocean so long that all their markings are completely worn off and they're just blanks by the time I find them. A little bit of a lime green piece there. See some cute little cowrie shells around here and there as well. Big piles to kick down. Definitely so much easier than having to dig horizontally. You can just pull these piles down vertically and things just fall right down at your feet. Look at there. Is that a blue? Huh. Looks like a ceramic blue. It's really well worn. Look at that. Here's another blue. Yeah. A little bit craft grade, but we'll still keep it. Oh, it was a good workout too. You gotta do a full spread to get your leg up here. Definitely worth it to be finding treasure like this. Some of the other beaches I found lots and lots of pottery. Ooh, we got an orange. Look at that. Right there. Washing around right on the beach. If I didn't catch that, it might have gone away. It's not a bright orange, more of a kind of a honey amber orange. Odd color. I like it. Definitely rare. Definitely pretty. Ooh, I see a chandelier bead. Look at that. You can tell because they'll have these dimples on either end where the holes would have been, but the sides of the holes got worn away. Too good. Ooh, look at that. This is a good little pile right here. I think I see a red. Could be plastic. Ah, yep, piece of plastic. Either way, see the red piece of the plastic means you'll see the red piece of the glass too. So always keep your eyes peeled. Sweet. This is a nice little section right here. Kick it back, pull back some layers, see what we can find. Definitely the best little orange I found here. Nice teal right there, just a perfect gem. Absolutely perfect gem right there. Lots of bones in these piles. I've only seen a few marbles at this beach so far, but I think you saw a couple of them with me. So hopefully we'll find some more. Nice little maybe handle or something, good seafoam color. Always looking back to check on the dinghy and check on the dog. And my boat is right there. Right there. It wasn't too far to come today. Oh, it's all pink. Almost lost it. The wave was coming in quick. Nice, pretty pink. Had some birds breaking into my boat today, trying to peck on my bananas. They don't need just one banana. We'll go after all your bananas. And they put little holes in them and they just shake them around a bunch and get them all over your kitchen. So you gotta have LC stay in the kitchen in the mornings to protect the bananas and the other fruits Well, the birds here will get them. They can smell them outside the boat. It's crazy. But they're super friendly, kind of fun to talk to. Ooh, look at that. Almost didn't see that. That's so small. It's like a frozen Charlotte head right there. It could even be a little Ben Franklin. Wow, so tiny. Things like that are really hard to miss, especially since they're white, same color as a lot of these pieces of coral and stuff. Cool. Been fun. Lots of good, rare, little pieces on the little side of the beach here, where it's all smaller aggregate. And like I said, when you go towards the bigger aggregate pieces over there, that's when you find the Dominoes and stuff like that. Sometimes stoppers and sea coins also like to hang out with the bigger size stuff. Things on the beach like to hang out with things the same size of themselves on the beach. So I often find marbles next to each other. Think about it, there's perfect circles and they're just rolling in the exact same spots. Sometimes there's a path that they all just take and end up in the same little puddle. Oh, hey, didn't even see that. I bet you saw that before I did. It's funny, that was not there a few minutes ago. Oh, thanks. I was peeking over here already. That's a 00 domino. Nothing on the back. I've found mostly blank dominoes here where there's nothing on the back sides. Oftentimes, dominoes were used as promotional kind of games that they would give away with beers and cigarettes back in the day. So you'll find a lot of times there'll be liquor, beer, or cigarette brands on the back of dominoes. So we used to gamble with them. They still do. You see a lot of people here. Woo! Big wave on my back. You see a lot of people here still playing dominoes and gambling alongside the beaches and roads here. It is a pastime. I don't know if... Whoa! What is that? That's wild. It must be plastic. Either way, really pretty. Huh, could be ceramic too. I touched it to my teeth, it feels more like plastic, but wow, that would have been a cool piece. Yeah, I don't know if the dominoes come from Dominica. Maybe they have something to do with each other. It'd be worth looking up the history of dominoes. Nice bonfire lime green heart there, and I see a little piece of Chinese porcelain behind it. Also pretty sweet. Woo! Oh man, I got the phone wet on that one. These waves are soaking me. I'm gonna have to scoot back down the beach a little bit while I record just so we don't get the phone wet. Can't afford to lose that right now. Let's look back here in the low tide. When there are big waves, obviously the water line goes back really far, and that's when you can check pretty quickly to see if there's any rare colors. Sometimes you can grab them out just in time before the wave comes. And we can come back here. You can see we've already dug some. I don't think I've hit this part yet. Let's give it a kick. Beautiful yellow right there. Gorgeous. It's crazy that there's so much seagrass in some places now. I've probably been to 50, maybe 60 seagrass beach. 50, 60 regular beaches here on my trip. LC and I explored, I guess altogether about 30 miles of coastline, and we hit nearly every single beach that we were able to land the dinghy on. The ones we weren't, I would just anchor out and swim in. So I checked all the beaches, found all the seagrass spots, and definitely I was delighted with some of my finds. There's some pretty cool beaches here, especially this one. Just finding some really rad stuff there. Beautiful flower. Keep the pottery there. Oh, look how well worn it all is. It's nice teal green. Really pretty, just so well worn, perfectly frosted. If you guys haven't yet, I have a YouTube channel called The Bored Pirate. If you're interested in wondering about the places that I've been with for seaglass, and maybe you're interested in going trips on your own, you can check out my YouTube channel, The Bored Pirate, and I've posted seaglass videos from basically every single country that I've been to looking for seaglass. So that can help you get some tips and ideas on where to maybe travel next to find seagrass on your own. Now keep in mind, some of these beaches I've been talking about 5-6 years, they're not going to have nearly as much seaglasses these days as they did like my original videos. A lot of these beaches I'm finding before anybody else ever does, so I find a lot of really good stuff. But when people start finding out about them, like for instance Seaglass Island in Aruba, pretty quickly people start doing tours, and then you know, hundreds of people are going a day. And when that happens, all the sea glass goes away pretty quickly. So there isn't much to be found anymore on Seaglass Island. It's still loaded with white, brown, and green glass, but if you're looking for rare stuff, it's really hard to find. The days of finding multiple marbles are well over there. But there's more sea glass beaches to be found. And the cool thing about Seaglass Island is it used to be covered with all kinds of trash. And because of all the tourism got going there and people visiting, it's completely cleaned up now as far as tires, plastic, stuff like that. So there are benefits to us going to these beaches and making them popular because they do get cleaned up. A lot of them are really dirty beaches. It's not just glass, but other trash as well. There's a piece of a domino. See how well worn that is on the back. Super rad. But do not be deterred. There's still sea glass to be found in Aruba. Just saying there's not as much as there used to be. And that goes with, you know, basically anywhere. Once it's found out, slowly and surely it dissipates a little bit. But anytime you go right after a storm, it seems to come back a lot. So definitely if you can time your sea glass visits to be right after storms hit. For example, there were some really big waves here last night. That's why it's all pushed up on the beach. That's a great time to go and look for sea glass. All right. Nice little sea foam there. Definitely some really cool colors. You find these a lot of times for electrical outlets. That's your plug there. The metal prongs get degraded off because they're metal, but the plastic sticks around. Sometimes you get the wires poking out the back. It's a piece of plastic, so I'll take it and I'll throw it in the trash myself. Keep kicking these piles down. Hoping to find some more finds. We found some really good stuff there at the beginning. But as you get back in these piles, it gets harder and harder to dig. Oh, look at that. This one's got a 2 on it. Let's see if we can see a date. I don't know if I can make out the date there. Queen Elizabeth. Maybe 1970? Who knows? Ooh, a couple of nice pieces right there. All sea foams. Beautiful jewels. Definitely make jewelry out of something like that. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching today. I really appreciate you tagging along for the trip. I'm going to have a little drink break and play with Elsie for a little bit. That way she doesn't feel neglected at all. Hope to find some more good stuff here. And I'm not sure how long I'll stick around in this country. It's a nice marble. But man, this beach is so awesome. Hard pressed to leave. I wonder if there's some way I can get just enough water for doing showers and dishes. Hard to keep this dog clean. She is literally like living with a living mop. Everywhere it goes, she picks it up and brings it home. So it's my Dyson's been getting its work out. So much sand. It's totally worth it. She's my best buddy. Even let her dirty, hairy butt sleep in my bed. Can you believe that? She wakes up every morning, ready to go to the beach. I'll see you. Keeps me from being lazy. I know I gotta go out and do stuff because it got her, so it means I get to visit more beaches than ever. You know, looks maybe some angel wings or some kind of pottery. That's pretty neat. Whew. My legs getting tired. You guys know I got fractures in both my knees right now. I got stem cells about 4 months ago, and I'll tell you what, it's actually starting to improve a lot. I can definitely feel the difference. I'm not like going to sleep crying in pain anymore, and I used to only be able to do about 5,000 steps a day, and now I'm up to like almost 15,000, 20,000. There's like a 3-4 month period where nothing really happens, and all of a sudden they started kicking in. So it's really good. Glad to have my legs back. Probably have to do another treatment at some point just to keep them getting better and better, but pretty good results. So far, so good. I would recommend the stem cells if you're having any of these problems rather than getting surgery. Whew. What do you say, Elsie? How we doing? Just chilling. You got this stick? Want this stick? Oh, I see another domino. Oh, it's got color to it. Elsie, ready? Nope. Okay. Where'd that domino go? Oh, look at that. Double six. That's awesome. I don't know if I have one with yellow dots in it before. That one doesn't even look super well worn. A little bit, but not as decrepit as those other ones were looking. Awesome. That's so many dominoes. That's probably the most dominoes I've found in one video. So thanks for your good luck, y'all. Appreciate that. Hoping for one last really good find before I shut this down. Keep your fingers crossed. Gotta be something good in here. This is, like I said, the bigger side. Where you get more dominoes. Bigger rocks. Hoping to find a big something. But definitely finds a fewer and further between when you go towards the big rocks. But alright, we'll call it good with that domino there. That was a good final find. And yeah, this is Dominica. Beautiful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to get your passports. I hope to see you soon somewhere beautiful. No way. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's as orange as it gets. Some kind of orange stopper there. Holy dang. I just turned my camera off too. Cool. That's an awesome find. Looks like a heart shape.